and spa tea room, because here we touch on each and every culture, but definitely contributes to the culture and our ancestors that connect us all during this time of healing. So this particular subject or this story is in regards to my awakening, right? So usually I take notes, and I actually try to use those keynotes so I can stay on track, because a lot of times I can be very long-winded, I should say. But I'm going to try to make sure that I make this experience as organic as possible. Okay. So here we go. So at the age of 22, I was just currently dealing with being freshly separated from my child's father, and being a new mom and whatnot. And I actually had an interest in, digging a little bit deeper in spiritualism, right? So a lot of times when you go through things and you kind of feel like you're experiencing mishap after mishap, that is the best time that you actually get more acquainted with Most High, right? So I actually started doing research into Egyptian culture, considering how that is, the native land, or however, the motherland, I should say. So ironically, I actually started, around that time, so I was on my own. I was basically used to living with someone, and being provided for and all of that or whatever. So this was kind of, like I said, I was kind of freshly stepping out there, found employment for myself or however. And it just so happened that I started working at a Mediterranean restaurant, right? Now, okay, we get to speaking about culture or however, a lot of the Egyptian practices, not only is it African or is African based, but I believe a lot of Arabic individuals definitely, was relevant to the culture, or, just the teachings of it in general. So the restaurant was called Kababi, and it was located in Redford, Michigan. And the food was very, very good. It was awesome. It was amazing. I was treated very well, and I was the only African-American employee that worked there. I believe everyone else was actually Arabic, and they may have been family or however. But I felt very, very welcome. I definitely did. While I was working there, though, okay, there was this woman, one of my coworkers. She was a server as well. Usually we was doing the typical rotation of seating individuals when they came in to come, greet them and serve them or however. But this particular day, she was going through something. She was expressing to me her relationship. She felt like she kind of had stepped out on her significant other, and she felt like she had lied to him about it, or it was something along those lines. And she was kind of like just asking me about, how do I, what do I think about it, or, what's my insight on it. And I was telling her that if it was making her feel that way, then that's because that's her conscious mind, and I believe that she should have just told him. So I believe that, especially in Arabic culture, how the woman conduct herself is very significant to the man's respect for himself, for herself, and then them as a whole. So it actually took a toll on her, and she just so happened to, so I came in, one of her tables came in, and she was telling me that she couldn't take that table at that particular time because she was, having to process what she was going through emotionally. So I went on ahead and I took the table. I told her, don't worry about it. I went over there to them, and, I attended to the table. Now, mind you, this table, it was actually I noticed it was two gentlemen there. One had a turban wrapped around his head. I believe both of them did. But I remember distinctively they were trying to figure out what they wanted to eat. So we're all looking at the menu, and I noticed that for a second, I promise you, for a second, I couldn't comprehend what they were saying. You know, one I know for a fact he didn't speak English at all. But then there was the other one, and he was telling me, like, well, what would you recommend? So after a while, you know, I was working with them, but I was pointing to it, and I was, you know, explaining to him what we had and everything like that. And I kid you not, out of nowhere, this man asked me for the pound of my name. No, first of all, for the pound of my name, excuse me. First of all, he asked me what my name was. Now, mind you, I go by Marie, but for some reason, I told this man my government name, okay? After I told him my name, he asked for my palm. Once I gave him my palm, he took a pen. He asked for my pen, and he wrote my name. No, he wrote excuse me. See, I need to slow down, right? So he wrote my name on his palm. And I was looking at him like, okay, what's going on? And he told me, he said, well, once you go get the food and you bring it back, I'll let you know the reason why I wrote your name on my hand. So I said, oh, okay. So mind you, at this point, I have no type of knowledge of, you know, this deep sense of spiritualism or however. I'm thinking, you know, these things are just a hoax. I'm very, very young-minded, so these things are far from my comprehension. When I came back and I brought him his food, he told me, he said that you're going to meet a man the age of 29. He said that you need to save your money and he's going to take care of you for the rest of your life. And I looked at him and I was kind of like, okay, once again, I'm like, all right, I'm just, you know, I didn't really think anything of it. For some reason, it definitely did hit me very hard. You know what I'm saying? It kind of stayed with me, it stuck with me, but in the back of my mind. Okay, all right. So moving forward, while I was working there, unfortunately, I got this very, very unfortunate call that my sister's son had a tragic incident. So where he got a hold of her firearm and he shot himself in his hand. Okay, so this definitely petrified me. I had a very good standing at the restaurant that I was working at, but that particular day when I got the message, I got a message in a group text message, and I instantly told my boss that I had to step away.